Hello everyone, I'm going to do a tutorial on stucco. I'm going to do 3 different types of stucco, but you can combine them and do, I'm sure, all kinds of combination. I did a tutorial on some buildings for No Quarter back in, I think it was 2011. It was issue 35, and it was on some protectorate buildings. I've done a replica, it's not exactly, it's similar to the ones I did in the magazine, but this is one type of stucco that I did for the magazine back then. I'm going to show you how to do this one, and then I'm going to show you how to do the one that I did on the row house in the center, and it's in a recent whip. You can check out that whip where I painted the stucco, and I'm also going to show you kind of a mixture of not really stucco, but you can turn into stucco. It's by the mine section of my row house. If you have any questions, comments, let us know. I'll be more than happy to help you out. All right, these are some of the tools that and things that you'll need for the stucco that I'm going to be doing. One is plaster Paris, and then wood filler. Just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to use some terracotta paint. I'm not sure if this is a stippling brush or what this is. I've had it for so long, I can't remember the name of it anymore. But you can get this at a craft store, and then obviously just something to stir it with, and then a cup of water, and then this is like a palette knife. You can use palette knives for part of what we're going to be doing. I'm going to move this out of the way, and we're going to get going. First off, we're just going to fill this full of plaster and start to let it dry, and then we'll go to the stucco with the wood filler. So let's mix up some plaster. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some terracotta in it. I was talking to Tyler. He's a friend of mine. He has Blessed Horizon Studios, and he mentioned that my tutorial for the rocks, you really couldn't see it very well because it was really white. So what I'm going to do is we're going to mix some paint into this stucco. Normally I wouldn't, because usually I don't think that far in advance to know what color I'm going to be doing it. But if you know you want it stucco and you want it terracotta, then this is a good idea to just throw some paint in there, because then that way your paint or the stucco is that color all the way through. So if you were to like carve rocks or carve anything like that, or stucco, if it ever got chipped, then the paint color, that your base color is all the way through the stucco instead of it being white. So just in case you have to fix it. And I used way too much water for what we're doing. So I want to see if I can find something to dump it in. So normally when I use this form of stucco that I'm going to show you, I usually don't do this. I'm just doing this for the sake of the tutorial. I'll do something where it's contained, like in the row house, where I'll build the frame up and then I can pour the stucco or the plaster in the recesses. You can go, I don't have a tutorial on that yet, but you can go and see some early photographs of the row house on our Instagram account, and you can check that out and you can see some early photographs. The rock tutorial also shows you that methodology as well, if you just want to go take a look at that too. All right, just gonna pour some in here so we can get this drying, and so we can work on the, I don't know why this is drying. Well, I screwed up. I didn't even listen to my own advice. So let's try that again. I am so used to not putting color pigment in this, but I wanted to show up for the tutorial. So let's try that again and see if I can get it right a second time. Normally I want it a little bit runnier when it comes to this, so it settles better. But for the sake of this tutorial, I think this will be fine. Now let's try the other. We'll go on to, so this is the kind of stucco that I'll do with on a flat surface just because it works better. And this is the one that I'll use the palette knife for. This is wood filler. For those who do construction work and have to mud walls and different things like that, then this probably will be so easy for you. I know that the style on our walls in our house are what they would call orange peel. I don't even know what that is, but that's what they told us when they built our house. But this one's fairly easy. You just might want to work with it and play with it and practice a little bit before you actually apply it to a building. Now, if you were to have features on your building that may stick out more, then you might have some difficulty doing this method, especially with the long palette that I have. All right, we're back. These have dried somewhat. So on this, it's kind of the same principle as this one. You're just gonna go through and kind of smooth it out, kind of just give it a little bit of texture, make some uneven. You're gonna make some uneven spots on your wall. I don't know if you're wondering why I'm doing this and not just this. It's because so I can do stuff like this. So I can have stucco and then carve rock out of the other part. So this is deep enough where I can have a stucco type material and then I can carve rocks out of this section or a portion of it. That's why I kind of do this method versus this method. If I was going to do this one over the entire building, then that's the method I would choose, would be this method right here. But if I want to have something else that goes more three-dimensional or more in-depth or deeper into the wall or whatever I'm doing, then I'm going to do it this method. And it's the same principle. All you're doing is just smoothing things out. You can go back over the sandpaper, piece of sandpaper if you want to. I don't know if I got the angle right or if you can kind of see that. There's so many lights on it. Let me turn this light off, see if that helps at all. So for whatever reason, my video crapped out and I thought I had got this part, but the stippling, you can still kind of see it, but it's just, this is like a stippling brush. But this is how I got the technique for this part of the wall right here, was by just doing this. I moisten this part back up. You kind of still get that idea. Let's turn this light off again. But it gives that rough texture look, and I don't sand it or anything when I do it. That way you get that feel of roughness, and also you can do dry brushing and you can do washes, glazes, or whatever. Then this one, it's all dry. Let's go back and sand it. You don't have to do it very heavy. And then just smooths it all out, and there you go. You get that texture. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. It was kind of a short one, but it just was mainly to teach technique and theory of doing stucco on, at least the stuff that I've done. I'm sure there's several other ways. There's probably not a right way or a wrong way, and there's all kinds of ways of doing stucco, so it's up to you what you want. And the bottom line is when you do terrain or anything in the art world, unless it's being entered in a competition, it's yours. It's what you want out of it. Are you happy with it? And that's all that really matters. And the other thing too is what I would do is I would not get caught in the rut of perfectionism, where you do something and you learn along the way. Because like the row houses, for example, I'll talk about the row houses for a sec. The row houses, for example, don't get caught in the perfection trap where you start on a project and by the time you get to the end of the project, you've learned so many different things and you've honed your skills a little bit better and you want to go back and fix what you've already done. Don't do that. Unless you're doing it for like a competition piece or a diorama or something like that. I would just, it's a hard thing not to do. And at least I'm kind of a perfectionist sometimes and it's a trap I get caught in, but just don't go back and do it. Just keep moving forward, keep learning. Unless there's a dramatic difference, but I would tend to just to leave it and chalk it up to experience. And that's something you can look back on and say, this is where I was and now this is where I'm going and this is where I am now. And that's all I've done. That's what I've tried to learn to do in my personal endeavors. I know people who get caught in that trap and they cycle through the same project over and over and over because the project's large enough to where they get caught in that trap, and they'll work through the project, and by the time they get to one end, they've realized, hey, I know how to do it better, so they'll go back and fix the other part. Don't do that. At least that's my recommendation. You can do whatever you want. It's your projects. It's what you want to do. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. More than happy to try to help and answer where we can. If there's any tutorials or anything you'd like to see, especially on projects that I've done, if you want to know how I've done something, let me know and I will do my best to show you how I did that. And as always, if you like what you see and you enjoy what we do, then please follow us. Give us some input. Let us know what we're doing, how we're doing, and we welcome you for the ride. And hopefully we have a good time doing this, and it's a lot of fun. And we do it because we like doing it. And that's all I have to say. Ciao.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on YouTube.
If you want to support us, you can support us at paypal.me/platypusscotsman or Patreon.
Comment below if you have any suggestions you want to see as far as tutorials are concerned. Let us know, and hope you enjoy this and come back and have a good time.
As always, links are in the description below.
What was wrong with you? Cool fire. So